viewers, you're welcome to today's Thursday Legal Literacy series. My name is Peace Ukeshola and I'll be your host. Today we'll be discussing statutory marriage in Nigeria and prenuptial agreements. Now, in Nigeria there are two forms of marriage. We have marriage under the native law and custom, which we call customary marriage, traditional marriage, and statutory marriage. Those are the marriage we engage at the marriage registry. Statutory marriage has the backing of law in the sense of it's being enforceable in court, or in case of divorce, the High Court assumes jurisdiction over a statutory marriage when it involves dissolution of marriage. While when we're talking about marriage under the native law and custom, is the customary court that will assume jurisdiction in events that there is a dissolution of marriage. There are benefits of both marriages. Under the marriage under the native law and custom, you could say that it allows more for polygamy, and allows for, it's just the proper traditional setting for an African marriage. But marriage under the customary law has other benefits. It allows spouses who are intending on traveling outside the country get documentation for journeys, and also statutory marriage contemplates a monogamous marriage between one man and one woman. When you contract a statutory marriage, it presumes that the man or any of the spouses cannot get married to another person while still married under the law. And also, the statutory marriage encourages spouses to get certifications for their marriage when they're traveling outside the country. It helps facilitates their visa and all that. And also, in a statutory marriage where any of the spouses dies intestate. When I mean intestate is that one of the spouses dies without a will. In such instance, it covers for the rights of the other spouse in the will, and it covers for the rights of the other spouse while administrating the estate, that's the property of the deceased spouse. In that case, when a person contracts a statutory marriage, the properties of that person will not be distributed under the laws of customary law. It means that once you marry and you contract a statutory marriage, your customary beliefs will not be imputed to decisions while trying to share the properties of a deceased spouse. That means it caters for the wife, that's the widow or the widower, the husband whose spouse has died, when regarding property sharing and all that. These are not all the benefits of a statutory marriage. One of the benefits is that the statutory marriage contemplates and allows you to enter prenuptial agreements. What are prenuptial agreements? Prenuptial agreements are agreements that parties thinking of getting married, expecting to get married, let's say contracting a marriage, they see marriage as a form of contract. They enter into an agreement before marriage or regarding certain issues that they think and they believe are vital issues in their marriage. So issue can be the upkeep of the children when it comes to divorce. That's when any of the party wants to divorce the other party. It also talks about the life insurance of the other party. It also talks about properties of each of the spouses before marriage. Some of the spouse might have acquired some properties before they sit down and decide to marry. So it caters for all those financial aspects. It also caters for any child that is not a child of the marriage that one of the parties is bringing into marriage. It helps you to provide the provisions that cater for such spouses. So I would say that for such children, I would say that a prenuptial agreement is necessary. Although it's in countries like Nigeria, which is in Africa, there's this presumption that when you're talking about a prenuptial agreement, it's still a perception, the same perception we have regarding wills, that we're contemplating death. In the case of a prenuptial agreement, we'll say we are contemplating the divorce. But really, it's not, we wouldn't say that you are actually contemplating a divorce. You are trying to bring up all the issues that might create challenges in your marriage, trying to bring them, set your cards on the table and resolve them before contracting the wedding. There are several marriages that they've entered into a prenuptial agreement, they signed prenuptial agreement, and yet the marriage is still ongoing and they are not contemplating divorce. It's not necessary that you entering a prenuptial agreement automatically means that you are foreseeing a divorce in the future, or some people view prenuptial agreement as ambitious. No, it is not ambitious. Just like a will, they are just trying to protect for the future in case, it's like an insurance policy, in case of future risk, you're trying to protect the integrity of each party. And it also helps the court. Why, in case of dissolution of marriage, it helps the court to come into an agreement and both parties sit on a round table and decide. Since there's already an agreement before marriage, there's not going to be controversies when emotions are coming on the table. It helps quick dispensation of justice regarding divorce and regarding settlement of children born within the marriage. A prenuptial agreement in Nigeria, we will say it's valid because Section 72 sub 2 of the Matrimonial Causes Act makes a provision for prenuptial agreements, and it contemplates that the court can look at such agreements in marriage settlement, talking about custody of children, talking about sharing of the properties in the marriage and all that. We'll say that yes, a prenuptial agreement is necessary in marriage. It's necessary because it helps to resolve a lot of issues, especially issues that both parties will not be able to resolve when they get into the marriage. It helps parties to understand the risk in marriage, especially parties that are bringing in their finances. Those are already having a huge resource of finances before coming into the marriage. A woman who already has properties before coming into the marriage. Prenuptial agreements helps to sort all those things out and help each party to know their standing in the marriage. Basically, it explains the duty and obligations of each party in the marriage. So it helps to put all cards on the table, allow all contracting parties to dialogue on what they want to be part of their marriage and what they want not to be part of their marriage. And in case of divorce, it helps them to talk about the custody of the children, the maintenance, alimony, and anything that has to be paid to any of the parties in the marriage. So we would say that yes, prenuptial agreement is necessary. It is valid in Nigeria, being that although it is not commonly used, but it should be necessary and it should be a necessity while engaging in a statutory marriage. It's presumed that when you are engaging in a statutory marriage, you already have a prenuptial agreement. And how will you enter into a prenuptial agreement? You will contact your lawyer and express yourself. Let the lawyer know the terms, what you're intending on bringing into the marriage and what you're intending not to bring into the marriage, because there are issues of finance. It will help to cure a lot of controversies regarding finances, whether each couples will own a joint account or whether they will not own a joint account, or what percentage of each party's income is coming into the marriage. It is important information that even during marriage counseling, they tell you and they advise you agree on. Now, talking about this agreement, we're just simply talking about prenuptial agreement. Put it into writing. Everybody signs it, and we know that it's binding. And it helps each party control their emotions during marriage. You already know what you signed into. So there's not going to be much controversy as regards to my life insurance, I have my health insurance and all that. So it helps to cure all those controversies. It helps everybody to know their standing in the marriage. It knows everybody decides what they will take from the marriage in events that the marriage is dissolved, and everybody understands their stance in the marriage. We have a lot of things to discuss regarding prenuptial agreements, statutory marriage is in Nigeria, the benefits, and there have been a lot of controversies as regards to which registries to go, whether you go to the local government or the one managed by the Ministry of Interior regarding marriage. We will resolve all that in subcoming and have further discussions on all that in upcoming series of our Thursday live stream. If you can enter into an agreement, an insurance that covers your car insurance, that covers your life insurance, that covers your health insurance, and if you can also write a will, I would say that you should also contract a lawyer or engage in a prenuptial agreement prior to your marriage. And this is to ensure that all risks and eventualities are catered for. If you have any questions regarding any issues we've discussed about today, drop your comments and questions and we'll attend to them in the next series. Thanks for watching today's Thursday live series. See you next time. Bye.